All right. So if you can hear me talking, then you can probably answer me on the so if you chat so that I know that you're already here. We are gonna start in maybe 1 more minute so that okay. So I think we are gonna start now. All right. So welcome again to the consultancy space, which is the space for LCVP outgoing global volunteer. Yeah. So in this space itself, pretty much the same. I'm gonna talk about why global volunteer is so important. The role of oGV VP. Battle of oGV. What are the things that we measure as like a measure of success as a VP of oGV? Who do we work with in terms of synergy? What's our timeline? And also any sort of Q&A that you have. All right. So an objective is slightly different with the marketing space that we were having before that. Understanding and also a big role in managing OGV as a product itself, because knowing that as also a OGV, you don't only manage just like your own department, but you also need to oversee all the synergy as well as marketing department, how it's supporting the growth of OGV as a product itself, understanding the skills and competency needed in preparation for VP candidacy. Cool. So I think first thing first, of course, before we go into talking about what are the things that are gonna be done as a LCVP OGV, it's always important to go back to why of the product. Why do we even run OGV at the first place? Because of course, there's no point running OGV if you don't have any sort of relevancy towards the product itself. Yeah. So I am always from marketing background, and as from marketing background, I'm always all this while since I was in LCVP supporting OGV as a product, and now I'm CVP OGV. So the first thing first is that if you have already considered questions or you have not, is that why do you want to be in OGV? Why do you want to run for OGV these positions? What is the relevancy of this product for you yourself, right? And also, uh, yeah, why do we do exchange? So if you were to go into the entire Isaac way on the what, we always know that how do we make sure we are moving towards to our vision, PN's fulfillment of humankind potential. We want to make sure we develop leadership through two things: practical experience, challenging environment, which is only via cross-cultural exchange. Yeah. So in this context, it's very theory based. It's just like the words put on the Isaac way and things. But in real, how is this thing really impacting one person's life? You will be able to know it once you start running and you see the changes in your EP. So for me myself, I went exchange when I was in LCVP 2015, and I am a product of OGV myself. And I know the importance of how important is it for every young Malaysian to be out there to see the world and come back as a different youth, and also as a totally new person to rethink about the things that they wanted to do for their own community, for the country, or even for themselves, right? So for me, the moment I started running for this position, MCB OGB is also with a very strong relevance in my own perspective, that I think every Malaysian should be out there to experience exchange as a leadership development program, to have their entire worldview and to have their entire perspective change as a youth. Yeah, because we all know that youth is like the best time for you to still have your perspective change and also still have a lot of ability to do a lot of things for your own country or the own community itself. Yeah. So really do think about it if you haven't, or you have already have a strong purpose. It would be nice. You can share with me, or why do you think OGB is so important, and why do you want to run for LCB OGB? Yeah. So always keep the why in you, because as RCVP, one of the key important thing is that you will be the guardian of why, in terms of like why it matters so much for every young person to be out there. So the thing is that a lot of the time there will be members, directors, or general network coming and asking me, like, hey, why do we run for global volunteer so much? Why do we run exchange so much? Why we only talk about growth and all this kind of thing? I think a lot of the time, why the questions is not being answered or discussed in LC level is a lot of the time because the leaders themselves, they do not go through the process of thinking about whether this product makes sense, and whether why is it so important for them personally as well. So as the time go by, especially as EB, you need to have this conversation a lot with your own team, on EB, LCP, or most importantly your members, to let people know behind every operation, behind every number that we are doing, is always because it matters a lot in the whole leadership development model of what Isaac is doing. Yeah. So very quickly, we move into the role of LCVP OGP. First thing first is that give customer flow implementation. So make sure that 100% customer flow implementation is on track. Analyze and improve the effectiveness of each project process based on the customer flow. So the thing is that even though marketing is the one who is taking care a lot more on how to apply, but as a product head or as a OGV LCVP, your entire strategical role is a lot more different with marketing because you have to oversee how is the whole product experience for your customer from the beginning, get to know about corporate volunteer to the end when they are being realized of whether they get the kind of quality experience that they deserve and the leadership experience as well. So drive national and local initiative to improve OGV growth. You will be the final person in charge and also the final person who oversee the entire growth of the product from time to time. Implement and communicate SOP implementation based on customer flow. Make sure process time, conversion, and everything happens based on the SOP. Manage LC to LC partnership as one sub-product to improve OGV operation. So what does it mean is that you, as LCVP OGV, you will also be the key person in charge that will liaise all kinds of IR partners or IR management that is going to happen with other LC from other entity in terms of improving your conversion, improving your customer experience, project selling, and all those kind of things. Second will be customer centricity. Understand and communicate the measure of success of ELD product of Isaac, which is you will see the metrics later. Drive customer centricity mindset in the network. What does it mean by customer centricity? One very simple example is like, for example, for a person who applied to a project, we always want to make sure within the next 7 days the person get to approve to the project itself, like approve, pay, and click approve. So the thing is like for EP that waited for 20 days to get approved, that is not an act of being very, very customer centric because nobody will want to wait 1 month just to confirm that they can be going to this global volunteer project itself. Always be there that to answer the questions of our customer or things like that. uh yeah, so that is basically how being customer centric means. Synergize with LCVP PM to drive ISP culture in the LC. It's always very, 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 very important to have ISP in your own LC. So one of the reasons is because if you have seen that I have been to exchange myself, my relevancy towards the product itself is actually very, very strong. So it's always important to have people that have been to exchange in your own LC because they will be the best ambassador, the best person to know why exchange matters, and uh, to always communicate the purpose of why the product itself matters so much for the community in your university and so on. So what will be to see team to improve market understanding or market research and things like that. So third thing will be marketing, but on physical marketing. So execute physical marketing and manage local market in the university or our campus. Synergize with marketing team for university relation and digital marketing. Utilize and downscale national market strategy to align a promotion and improve sign-ups, for example. Customer experience management, manage the cooperation with LC partners with clear standards delivery. So this part is especially on the part with IR partner, where you manage not just the SOP, the conversions, and everything, but also in terms of like the quality of the exchange experience and things like that. Yeah, and then ensure legal stability of the voluntary visa process flow and other relevant document. A lot of things on more like the customer experience, the legality, visa, and all those things. Monitor and ensure customer satisfaction with quality exchanges via NEPS. Make sure when they go for exchange, leadership development really happen and have proper crisis management plan based on XPP and synergize with ECB. So if you don't know what's ECB, ECB means entity control board that actually makes sure all the legality cases and all these conflicts that happen during exchange are being monitored and also being discussed in the most fair way. It's like a court, Isaac court, where we talk about EB cases, right? Yeah. So ensure delivery assisting standards to facilitate customer experience. All right. So battle of OGV. How do we see if OGVP, like IFCVP OGV, is doing a good job and things like that? So key thing is that these are all the usual terms or the usual measurements of KPI that we'll see. First is of course the absolute number of every customer flows. every customer flow: sign up, apply, accept, approve, realize, finish, complete. Conversion from every stage: process time, apply to accept 4 days, accept to approve 3 days, and customer satisfaction into NPS into a percentage of completion. So the thing is that in operations is something very simple, is that you can't really control a lot of things. Like for example, you can't control their emotions, you can't control their experience when they are over there experiencing the project itself and things like that. But as OGV part, these are the things that you can hold control and you can work on to make sure you're consistently improving the customer's experience and also allowing more people to experience OGV as a product itself. Yeah. So it's the same. I think I've told this to marketing peeps as well. In every operation, there's always a huge funnel, right? A lot of people that sign up, and then as time goes by, conversion will become lower, and in the end, you might need to approach 7 people who sign up to only get one person to go for exchange. And this also means out of the 7 people that are show interest, 6 people actually do not manage to experience an exchange. So it's always very important to work as one whole department together with marketing and also all the other synergy department to have this thing in mind that at the end of the day, whatever department that's working, the end goal is just to make sure that one person really embark a journey and go on a change. And that's all that matters. So a lot of the time there are a lot of network LC or VPs or data right people that ask me about like, hey, why are we always talking about like, let's say why are we always talking about growth, why are we always talking about why we need to run more exchanges and things. I think a lot of the time the thing that people did not realize is that uh what every one exchange or every one ep they are out there to actually go for this global volunteer experience, they always there are always a lot of different stakeholders they are being impacted. So for example, for that one ep they go and exchange, uh they will actually work with the NGO, the project, or the community. And the EP itself will experience a leadership development, and the Isaac itself will experience a development as well. So the thing is that imagine if it's a team of 10 people, and in the end, at the end of the term, there are only 3 EPs that go for exchange. And in the team of 10 people, in the end, there are 100 EPs that go for exchange. The scale of development of the Isaac for the 3 EPs will definitely not be as high as the one that managed to deliver 100 exchange experience to be out there to represent Malaysia to go for global volunteer program. So it's the same with every one person that didn't manage to go for exchange, the community and the project or the NGO is losing this opportunity to meet this EP, to have this community being impacted. And that EP, of course, will not get their development, and the Isaac's development is also being sacrificed. So this is one of the core reasons why every exchange matters, and these funnels matter so much. And the end goal in the end is to just to make sure that people, for every person that we attracted into the funnel, they really go on exchange in the end. Yeah. So who should we work with in terms of our synergy is that first of all, before going to that, why it's important to have a strong synergy is that we have to know where we are heading together as a team, what we are achieving together, knowing each other progress and roles so that we know what we need to work on effectively. And of course, when you have people from different departments to work with you, to give you different perspective and idea, it means more brain, more idea, better ways to get things done and achieve more. Yeah. So key area that OGV will be working in terms of like synergy is that first with marketing, make sure that you always measure goal versus actual together, plan versus actual, attraction analysis, referral and sign up measurement, attraction strategies, consideration strategies, overall member priority, how is the whole team working, and LID of the function. So for PM OGV is that team center implementation, whether so let's say for the team that you are working on like as a OGV department, if let's say you are performing, is it because the VP and the directors are working a lot and the members are not going empowered, or the whole team is actually working and being empowered enough to work heavily towards achieving the goal? So this is the role of PM in helping to analyze and also to tackle the problem in the team. PDP implementation to the members in your department, know how are they being developed via all this experience or leadership experience that they are developing or facilitating for the EP. Peer response rate and implementation, are they working on the right thing and also working hard enough? R&D implementation, is the right skill and knowledge being developed to the members, and also get for every function, which is that is there enough people to work in the department itself. So for LCP and OGV, LCP we usually work on analyzing the goal versus actual, plan versus actual, main strategy and implementation. helping you to analyze what went wrong and also providing you the consultancies that you need. FI and oGV are, of course, on budget versus actual. You need budgets to run your operation, physical marketing, for example, cash flow review. Do you get enough to achieve goal? Do your money come in on time? Investment for attraction review and investment for consideration review. Yeah, what kind of investment that is needed to help you to upscale your whole project? Yeah. So finally, timeline for oGV, very simple. Now you are in the timeline where you have to start your preparation for attraction to happen on January, and then all the way until March, late March or beginning of April, consideration, and then value delivery starting June. Yeah. So the red part is on the global peak. Remember, if we miss it, we miss the timeline, then things will not happen anymore. So really, really keep this timeline very, very closely to your heart. That we really have to start preparing for your preparation summer attraction now, and tip is that remember, as oGV VP, the most important thing is always the SOP. Make sure that process time is being followed and also all the conversion is being met to the national goal and also the national level to provide the best customer experience for your customers. Manage product as a whole, not just oGV members and directors. So what does it mean is that you have a more different role compared to other people. They are not running operation. Uh, like marketing, PD, FL, PM, for example, because you are the final key person in charge that oversee the growth of the product. So you have every right to initiate any space or ask for support from any department to make sure that your product is growing as a whole, including overseeing the performance of PM, FL, and also marketing. So, for example, if you are not performing because of you don't have enough people, then you need to drag your PM and sit down together to talk about how do we solve the people issue, because I really need the people to help me to grow the product, for example. So that is the advantage of being a product head, and also it helps you to practice more of your project management, operation management, and also critical thinking skill in terms of like really overseeing the whole product as a whole. And then be very, very data savvy, which is that everything that you do, it has to be measured by effectiveness or also goal versus actual and things like that. But yeah, actually it's kind of the same with marketing, which is that whatever that you do, you always analyze, review, and find out what is wrong. Yeah. So I think that's all for now. I will open up the space for Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can just ask me. I think I got a question for Adam. Are there any updates on the 4 weeks pilot project from AI? So the thing is that Malaysia is not part of the pilot project, and we will not allow any 4 weeks projects to happen. So the thing is that for every EP that are approved to 4 weeks pilot project, their approval will be automatically dismissed and also will be cancelled off, and it will not be accepted. So far, we also do not have plan to apply for 4 weeks project pilot because it's actually still at a testing phase where would 4 weeks project actually allow a leadership development to happen completely? Would it be sufficient for EP experience? We have no clue of the quality yet because they are still piloting. So far for now is that we will not accept any sort of 4 weeks project pilot. Yeah. So any more questions? If you don't have questions, you can wave so that I know that you don't have questions, or else I'll just give more time to think. Are there any guidelines for doing lead nurture? Yes, so there will be education done, but so far I think you can also check out on your current predecessors in terms of like any sort of guidelines that they are using now, because the lead nurturing education, which is mainly on the SOP, has already been done and they are already doing it. No problem, Karen. Thank you. Okay. The rest, if you have, do you still have more questions? All right. No question from Karen. Any tips for off campus? What kind of tips do you mean? So generally, I think tips for off-campus promotion, this is a little bit broad. So the thing is that you should only be doing out-campus, where we call it, if you don't have a market in your own university. That's one thing for sure. And second thing, if you were to do out-campus, avoid approaching them to have like a physical booth or anything in the out campus, because so far none of the LC actually really managed to do it well. The key thing is that if you really want to do out campus promotion, it should be just using pre-attraction digital marketing to make sure people come to your physical marketing events. So let's say you have a physical marketing in your own university, and you can attract students from other university to come to that event to convert them. Yeah, so it's like pre-attraction. But the key thing is that so far we don't do anything that is like not involving any sort of physical touch point with the EPs, because so far none of the conversion actually works. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Can we get an assumption for Isaac to apply leave for GV so that it can be more specific? So usually what is happening now is that the exemption should come from your university. I mean, from Isaac's side, we can definitely come up with a letter that will allow you to prove that your EP is going for an exchange. But a lot of the time, it's not legality, or it's not credible enough for university to actually give exemption. So the thing is that why university relation is so important, because you should apply for exemptions from university to allow the students to go for exchange and also miss their class. So that is a lot of the things on university relation work. Yeah. Mhm. Any more questions? All right. Any more questions? If you have, you can still ask. If no, you can just wave. Mhm. All right. If there's no more questions, I think that's all for this consultancy space. So feel free to always text me in Telegram or any place. We'll send the slide as output. You can contact me. So if I don't reply you, you can text me a few more times so that to remind me to reply you if you have any questions. And okay, last question. Any insights on how to manage EPs as EP manager? There is an education space happening this week regarding EP manager. So feel free to attend. You will understand fully in terms of like what you should do as an EP manager. Yeah. Because I don't think I'm able to explain in details in this space itself. It's gonna go super details. Yeah. So if you have any person in charge that's potential one that need to know, feel free to ask them to join the education space as well. Yeah. So I think if you still have more to follow up on the questions, feel free to text me or you can still leave it here. I will still come back and check. So yeah, I think that's all for this space. All the best in your applications and also take notes of the tips that I put down. The thing about managing the whole product as a product head, that is the most important one. Yeah. So if there's nothing else, all the best and also I will just close the space here. Thank you.